the show. I'm broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Carlos Ponce, who's just outside of Mexico City. Hi, Carlos. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we also have a special guest today. We've been inviting people to participate on the recap show for probably 2 months now. We finally have a guest who's participating on the recap show.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you. And that is, the CEO of Speak to Leads. Appreciate you having you here as our guest, recapping the shows that we had last week. And we had 2 shows. One show was with Unity Health with Josh Scales, who's the CEO of Unity Health. We were talking about telehealth technology. And we also had Sam Xia, who is the CTO of a company right here in Southern California, WikiPro, who specializes in unified communication platform for small businesses. So I didn't participate in the conversation with Sam, even though I've known Sam for several years. Couldn't make it on Thursday, but I do recall the chat with Josh at Unity Health. And one thing that stood out for me was this idea that telehealth has been around for some time, probably over a decade, maybe 20 years. But COVID has sort of put it over the top in terms of accessibility for people who want to talk to a doctor to talk about their health situations. But it's also a fantastic way to provide healthcare services in more rural areas where perhaps the availability of doctors and urgent care facilities are not so prevalent. So I thought it was an interesting conversation about what it takes to prepare for that. And the one thing that stood out for me was this idea that some big retailers, CVS, Amazon, Walgreens, and others are getting into the telehealth business, which is somewhat of a threat for the local doctor, but the technology is such where if you're a practice, you can still participate and get access to a patient even beyond your immediate city. So that's an opportunity that has presented itself, that's been around for a while, but now has sort of accelerated because of COVID-19. What came up for you guys? I know you spoke with Sam, Carlos. What other things came up for you guys?
Well, first of all, before we get into that, Tulio, and thank you, I appreciate the introduction. And as you can see, we have a special guest today, and his Sammy James. Sammy James, the CEO, founder of Speak to Leads. Sammy, thank you for joining us in such a short notice. We were just having a conversation a few minutes ago, right? So thank you, James, for joining us.
Thanks.
James, we're going to be speaking about, as Julio says, about what happened last week. So feel free to ask away or participate in any way that you want. Okay. So what stood out for me definitely was first of all on this discussion that we had on the new normal and how normal is it going to get in terms of technology, and we call it the tipping point for telehealth. So there's a number of aspects that we can talk about on the tech side. And what stood out for me, I think that Josh Scales has definitely built quite a unique approach to telehealth as for a number of reasons. The timely choices that he's been doing, and the way that he's helping tech companies basically find solutions to complex issues, by utilizing technology. I think Josh is not only a very experienced and savvy individual, but also what I call a visionary in terms of what's ahead for telehealth in the tech world. So that was the one thing, and regarding the conversation we had with Sam Xia. Unfortunately, the video quality was not that good. He was on the outside, but what stood out for me while having a conversation with Sam is he even mentioned that when he came to the United States about 20 years ago, a lot of the things that he's been implementing in his tool and his platform WikiPro, he also envisioned this like way before the WhatsApp age and before the instant messaging became so mainstream. And now the way his journey building technology products, and for about 20 years, he put his expertise, his knowledge all together, and into one single platform that's going to make life so much easier for business owners, small business owners, to communicate with customers in this day and age, especially now that there's a lot of demand for small business owners to get their services out there, their products out there. So that's what stood out for me, Tulio, in the last two conversations we had with our guests last week.
Sammy, what about you? Anything in particular that stood out for you?
I was able to catch part of that interview with Sam, and it was pretty interesting because he is trying to solve a problem, which is to, as you mentioned, the unified messaging platform for people that are talking directly to their customers, not like a internal messaging system like Slack, but more of an external messaging system that can replicate some of those features, but also add on or integrate features like DocuSign or Adobe Sign or whatever that category is called, which is an essential component to just about every business now. I mean, that's how contracts are signed and have been for a long time. So and even generating referrals. I mean, it's the kitchen sink. I mean, I think is what he's got there. And I would like to play around with that app. I think it's got. I think it really has a lot of potential. I don't know what the adoption of it would be. How quickly people would be ready to use it. I mean, that's really the key. It's always about acceptance and getting and having people feel comfortable with something new. But again, I mean, he's tapping into the ubiquity of the phone, and everyone's very comfortable with this tool, and it's always with them. So I think he's leveraging that, and it's smart.
I think it's an interesting evolution, right? I mean, probably going to date ourselves here, but if you remember, the only way you could leave a voice message for someone is if they had a machine at their home or at their business, right?
Sure, I saw
voicemail was like a physical machine with a tape that played and you recorded it. And then it became cool when you could dial into the machine and retrieve your message by putting in a pin. That's how it was. There was no mobile phones. There was no text messaging. And then with the evolution of unified communication, you could actually create one number where you can get everything, right? Your voicemail, your text message, your email. So it's definitely communication has evolved over the past 20 plus years. But from a business point of view, we do have all these tools. We have Slack, we have Jira, we have all these technologies that help us to communicate and keep abreast of what's happening. And sometimes they're mostly focused internally. But with clients, you're still reverting back to the answering machine, right? Email. Let's call what email is today in comparison to what it could be. It's like the answering machine back in the day. So there's definitely an opportunity to move forward to creating some kind of a unified platform to communicate better. So interesting show to definitely watch and pay attention to, WikiPro. I'm looking forward to seeing how that evolves. Anything else come up for you guys? Otherwise, we're coming up shortly on time. And I know we got a chock full week of guests.
Oh yeah,
I'd love Carlos to announce who we got coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Tulio. Thank you. So yeah, as Tulio says, we have a full week. We have the entire week is full of interviews. The first one is on Tuesday. All of them are 1 p.m. Pacific. Just a reminder for the audience. Tuesday we have Kenny Reuter. I hope I got that right. Kenny Reuter. He is the CEO of Kajabi. Kajabi is a fully integrated online business platform, and so that's going to be on Tuesday. We're going to be speaking about cultivating the new entrepreneurs of the digital age. Now on Wednesday we have a conversation with Alex Asher, the CEO of LearnCube, an online learning platform from the United Kingdom. The topic is the disruptive future of education. And finally, on Thursday, we're going to be speaking with the CEO. I think he's the CEO of FramePlay. Tulio, I think he's one of your guests, Jonathan Troughton. And we're going to be speaking about building trust and being an agent of change in the in-game advertising space. So there you have it, folks. The 3 great topics of next week. Please join us here today, Dojo p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thank you.
And thanks, Carlos. And I think we have Sammy on the show coming up too. When is he scheduled for? I saw an invite for it.
Yeah, actually,
July 5th.
Yeah, actually, we're
going
gonna
to be on.
Yeah, 16th.
This
yeah.
is
July
this is a
16th.
Thursday. Yes, that's
Awesome.
also another great week full of great guests. The entire week is. I'm excited because we're getting busy. So yeah, Thursday the 16th. Sammy, I'm going to be in touch with you about the topic.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
We'll do it.
Thanks for joining the recap. Don't forget to join us every day at 1 p.m. every day but Friday. See you soon. Stay safe.
See you soon.